Hi, Deepti. Let's take a look at your set of essays here. The first set you've written us. Let's see what you wrote. Experts throughout both the developing and developed worlds have debated whether working for a single organization the whole life is a better option or switching jobs frequently is more rewarding. Though it is difficult to carve out a niche if a job is changed several times throughout a career, along with less perks and benefits of loyalty programs from employers, working in various jobs might provide more freedom to work in an organization a person feels more suitable. This essay will discuss both sides using examples from the UK government, Oxford University to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay. Um, good. I liked the last sentence. It was just fine. You had some problems in the other sentences. That is, you had some problems grammatically. Let me show you what I mean. Experts throughout both the developing and developed worlds have debated whether working for a single organization for one's whole life. Okay, one with an apostrophe S. For one's whole life is a better option, or if switching jobs frequently is more rewarding. Okay, so you had those two problems there. Now, here, this sentence was really just way too long. Let me show you what I mean. Look, wait, can I do that? Let me see. So it starts here and then it ends all the way down here. So it was too long. And when you have sentences like this, you really run this risk of making mistakes. And in this case, you did. So look at this. Though it is difficult to carve out a niche if a job is changed several times throughout a career, and this was awkward, along with less perks and benefits of loyalty programs from employers, you didn't have to include all this. Okay. So you could have said, you could have condensed this because this, along with perks, less perks and benefits, first of all, it's fewer perks and benefits, but it just became really awkward. Uh, and then I'll tell you where the mistake was here. So why don't we try something different? Though it is difficult to carve out a niche if a job is changed several times throughout a career, working in various jobs might provide more freedom to find an organization where they feel more comfortable. Okay? So I would have made those changes here. I thought find, like, in other words, you have to switch jobs to find something that you feel more comfortable in. Okay? So I would have made those changes. All right, let's continue. There is ample evidence that working in different jobs might not be very useful in gaining expertise in a field. For example, if a person works as a programmer for some years and later takes up a position as a football coach, she will not acquire expertise in any fields compared with a person who has been a football coach or programmer from the beginning of their careers, as every skill requires a certain amount of time to be honed, which helps employees to compete with each other and move up the ladder. Switching jobs might seem like a stumbling block in their career growth. Nice. Long, but nice. An extensive study from Oxford University showed that employees who work for the same organization for more than 5 years have 50% more chances of getting promotion than those who change jobs very often. Let me see. Move up the letters. Okay. Let's see. Oh, help employees compete with each other and move up the ladder. Okay, so this is about moving up the ladder. You get a promotion. All right, fine. Yeah, I like this. I thought you did a nice job. You could use some good vocabulary. Again, you had some sentences that I thought were a little uh, maybe a little long. You know what? The best word for it is complicated. They were a little um, complex is good, complicated is not. So complicated means it has like different parts and different things happening. You want to be careful with those, okay? So complex language is fine, but the truth is we use a lot less of it in natural English than IELTS students would tend to think. So anyway, I think this paragraph was fine. I'm a little concerned that you decided to go with a third paragraph here, a third body paragraph, especially given the fact that it's so little compared to your other paragraphs, but let's see what you wrote. So your first paragraph, your first body paragraph, that is, talked about why switching jobs is not a good idea. Let's see what you did here. It should not be forgotten that there are many fringe benefits for staying in the same job, such as gratuity, home loan, and health insurance, which are not available to employees with less tenure. I don't know what you mean here by gratuity. I'm not sure that's the right word here. Home loans S. For instance, there are companies which provide gratuity to employees who have completed 5 years in the organization, make an effort to introduce many such schemes to retain employees and reduce attrition. The word we usually use is turnover here. I don't know how I feel about attrition. Hence, it is conclusively clear that working for the same employer has many benefits. All right, it's a little brief. So let me see if I understand what you're doing here. You've got why switching jobs is bad, right? Okay. So why is it bad? And then you talk, so why switching jobs bad? Then you're talking about why staying in the same job is good. And then what are you doing here? Although long tenure in a single job is considerably advantageous, flexibility and independence which an employee can have after working with multiple employers cannot be ignored. Okay. This is largely because an employee has many options to choose from due to various skill sets, S here, plural skill sets, not one, and they do not have to rely on a single employer. For example, there can be many reasons uh, why a person might feel the urgency to change jobs, comma, such as toxic environment, work-life imbalance, unprofessional work culture, and so on. Here, you definitely want a new sentence, period. Being skilled in many fields provides grammar. Being skilled in many jobs, in many fields, provides ease when or in changing jobs. Okay? Consistent with this line of thinking is that employees who try to learn new skills and switch jobs frequently are more relevant to the requirements of jobs in the market, comma, especially in this ever-changing world when technology is rapidly changing the way companies work. For instance, recent empirical research by the UK government demonstrated that employees who have worked with at least 3 different organizations in their career and are over the age of 40 are able to get jobs 35% faster than those who worked in one company. Hence, it is possible to say, I don't want a capital I after hence. You did it somewhere else here too. Here. It is possible to state beyond doubt that there are more benefits of working in more than one job. Okay. Don't use hence in both paragraphs. You see, I picked up on it. So you could have used thus, therefore. It doesn't have to be hence. From the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that although employment in the same job provides more expertise and chances of career growth, advantages of flexibility and independence an employee acquires after working and exploring new areas in different jobs can be more beneficial. It is predicted that the trend of switching jobs and exploring new opportunities throughout the career will continue to increase sharply in the future. Okay, very good. So, Deepti, what I'm finding here is that there are some grammatical mistakes, but nothing really tragic, nothing really problematic. I do want you to work on your accuracy a little bit, but I think as far as the essay itself is concerned, you did really, really well. I'm happy with it. Keep up with this kind of thing that you're doing. One thing, though, is that I would have gotten rid of this paragraph. I didn't think it helped, and I think that you had a pretty well developed essay without it. I definitely don't want to see 3 body paragraphs. We typically recommend a 2 body paragraph structure, so 4 paragraphs in total: introduction, 2 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. And what you did here is you had this little itty bitty paragraph that I don't know. I think you could have left it without it. I mean, it was just 3 sentences, so not such a value add. Okay, stick to this paragraph, and then I would have gotten rid of this entirely. And I'm fairly certain that you were well over 300 words even without this. Okay, so let's take a look at what you did here for your English homestay letter. Okay. All right, so dear Mr. Smith, I am Deepti from Gurugram, India. I am planning to stay in the UK for 2 months to improve my English and would like to know more about the program. I am an undergraduate student in computer science and currently in 5th semester. I will soon get a semester break, which I want to utilize to improve my English through a homestay program and also explore a new culture of a different country. I would like to know a little more about the homestay program than it is mentioned on the website. Okay, so let's talk about your first paragraph. Let's talk about what this task is supposed to be about. So, um, this English and Homestay program, my understanding is that it sets up students with a homestay where you would stay with a family. Okay. So there's an organization that finds families who will host an international student so that they can learn English in the UK. All right. So what you are supposed to be doing in this letter is you are supposed to be reaching out to your host family, the family you'll be staying with, not to ask more questions about like what the story is with the program itself, but just some details about life in the UK. All right. So I wanted to see something different here in the beginning. The first thing that I want you to remember is that this is a formal letter. You don't know Mr. Smith, okay? And so it's a formal letter, and as such, there are certain conventions of formal letter writing. The first thing that we do in a formal letter is we state the reason why we are writing, okay? So ostensibly, you did that here by saying, I want to know more about the program. And that's fine, but that's not what you want to include in your first sentence. So let me give you an idea about how we would kind of ease our way into this. Dear Mr. Smith, I am writing to thank you for agreeing to be my host family for the English and Homestay program. My name is Deepti and I am from Gurugram, India. I am an undergraduate student in computer science and currently in the fifth semester. Okay. How about I am excited to utilize my semester break to study, to improve English through this program and explore the culture of a different country. So that would have been perfect. All right. So some small changes, some bigger changes, but that's why I really want to see this. Okay. Now, you're not asking about the homestay program. You have some questions about living in the UK. So this too, I wanted to see a little different. I would like to know a little bit more about a little, nah, okay. I would like to know a little more about the UK prior to my arrival. All right, this would have made more sense. On the portal, there is not much information about food, such as how much each meal would cost and whether or not vegetarian options would be available. Fine. In addition, I would like to know more about the place. No. In addition, I would like to know more about if your house is located on the outskirts or in the main city. Fine. Also, I need information on the transportation system. Um, Not about. That's awkward. Also, and this is a little too informal. I need information. We have to be more polite. So, also, I would appreciate some information on the transportation system so that I may get to nearby places such as groceries, gym, and so on. I have heard from my friends that some places in the UK do not have buses and one needs to have a car to move around. It would be great if you could also give information. All right, why are you including this? Is it just to go on here about this transportation system? Maybe you could have said something more about this. You could say, could you confirm this? You could say that. It would be great if you could also give information on the popular places to visit during my stay. So little grammatical mistakes. I have my last semester exam on the 25th of March and I'm planning to arrive on the 5th of April at 5 p.m. It would be great if you could let me know about the usual weather about that time of year. I would not have said about, I would have said that time of year. That's it. It will help me to buy clothes suitable to the climate because I am sure there is a huge climate difference between India and the UK. I look forward to your reply and hope to see you soon. Okay. Um, Rather than talking about the weather here, I didn't really feel like this was appropriate. This whole thing here about the weather, it should have gone up in this paragraph. Here, where you're giving your arrival information, you should have said how you plan to get to Mr. Smith's house. Or maybe you could have asked him, is someone from your family going to pick me up, or should I make arrangements to arrive to your home? Okay, that would have been more appropriate. But all of your questions should have been in this paragraph. You're telling us when you're arriving, and then all of a sudden you're asking more questions again. So I didn't really agree with that organization. Okay? As you know, organization of your ideas is scored under coherence and cohesion. So you want to make sure that there is a logical sequence of ideas. Okay, so Deepti, a lot of good stuff in your writing, but some things that I want you to work on as you progress through the essay correction package. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing your next set and how you apply some of the suggestions from today. Good luck to you.